Santa fell off the roof. He fell to his death.
Yourself a merry little Christmas night. And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
What's up, guys? It's Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another Vlogmas video, and in today's video, as you can tell, this is going to be my top 15 Christmas movie suggestions. I think I might make a part 2 because there are so many good Christmas movies. I think in this one specifically, it's going to be mostly like literally Christmas movies you would watch as a kid, and I literally love all of these movies, and so I know you will too. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. So the first movie is Elf and Buddy, who is transported to like the North Pole when he's like a toddler or so. So he grows up with these elves, and so like he has this kind of like childlike mindset, and so he finds out that he's not really like an elf, or like he doesn't really fit in, and so he goes to New York in search for like his real father, and his real father's like this businessman or whatever. And so they like take DNA tests and they find out that like that's actually his son. And so he just tries to like create a bond with his father, and it's just like a whole bunch of chaos. It's such a classic movie, like it's so good. So if you haven't watched that, get on it, please and thank you. So the next movie is Home Alone, and so basically Kevin, he is this kid and he is in a house full of family, like literally not just like brothers and sisters, but like aunts, uncles, cousins, all that good stuff. And they're like supposed to go on this trip to like I can't remember where, but they're supposed to go to this trip. And the night before, he got in trouble with his mother, and so he was forced to sleep upstairs in the attic. Morning comes, right? They count everyone to make sure that everyone is there, but they count the wrong head. It's not Kevin's head, it's like the neighbor's head or something. And so poor Kevin gets left home alone. There are these two like burglars, and they go into people's houses like while they're on vacation, like steal things. And so Kevin is home alone, hence the name, and he has to like protect his house from these two burglars. So the next movie is Home Alone 2. It's like a whole like series that it keeps on going on, but the first two are with the same kid, and essentially the same thing happens, but everyone makes it to the airport, but they get separated. So everyone is going to like Florida, and Kevin ends up in New York, and he stays in this fancy hotel. And surprise, surprise, the two burglars from the first movie escape from prison and end up in New York, and they plan on robbing this toy store. So Kevin comes up with another plan to like stop them from burgling the toy store and whatnot. And so it's same thing, but I honestly love the Home Alone series. I kind of wish they just had the first two, but they do have like up to Home Alone 4, but it's just not the same. So the next movie is the Santa Claus, and in this movie, so basically there's this divorced couple and they have a son together. Calvin, who is the dad, has his son Charlie with him for Christmas, and so they're spending the night together, and they hear like a noise on the rooftop, and so they go outside and Santa Claus is on the rooftop. And Calvin, the dad, he like yells at Santa like, "Hey, you there?" And Santa falls off the roof. Santa fell off the roof. He fell to his death. Anyways, so yeah, Santa Claus, he fell and he died. Like he like I don't want to say descended, like he just disappeared, and just the suit is left. And so there's this card that says, like, if something happens to me, put on the suit, or something like that, or if found, put it on the suit, or something like that. So Calvin, the dad, he puts on the suit and he becomes Santa Claus, but he doesn't realize that. So once he puts it on and he gets on the, like, goes up on top of the roof where all the reindeer are, it takes him back to the North Pole. And so like he's just there. So he's there for a little bit, and then he goes back into the real world and he becomes Santa Claus. Like his facial hair starts to grow and turn white, and like he gets a big belly and like all that stuff. And so basically he's just the whole Santa Claus, and no one believes that he's Santa Claus, but he is Santa Claus. So that's the first Santa Claus movie. So the next movie is the Santa Claus 2. This is the second movie in the series. And in this one, Charlie's kind of been like acting out, you know, hitting those teenage years. So he's acting out a little bit. And so also while that's going on, Calvin, he has to find himself a wife. He has to find a Mrs. Claus. And if he doesn't find a Mrs. Claus before either like Christmas or Christmas Eve, then he can't be Santa Claus anymore. That's what it is. That's what it is. So basically, he has to find a whole wife out here while dealing with Charlie, like helping discipline Charlie with the help of Charlie's principal. Do you see where this is going? Do you? But anyways, the next movie is the Santa Claus 3, which is the Escape Clause. So we got Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, right? And so we got Jack Frost. So there's a meeting with like all of like the whatchamacallit, like the, I can't remember what it's called. The council. It has like, or the Tooth Fairy, Mother Nature, Santa Claus, Jack Frost, like all these people. So Mrs. Claus wants her parents to like spend Christmas with them, and so like the in-laws come, but they have it seem like they're in Canada rather than at North Pole. And then also Jack Frost, he like doesn't like Santa Claus, you know, and so he finds out that there's an escape clause where you can like go back in time, and like if you don't want to be Santa Claus, like you have to hold this special globe and say, I wish I never become Santa Claus at all, or something like that. And so they go back and they fight it out, and then Jack Frost becomes Santa Claus. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? I think did I spoil it? That do with that what you will, okay? But I'm not gonna say anything else. So next is the Grinch. And if you haven't watched the Grinch, then what are you doing with your life? You need to reevaluate your life choices right now. But anyways, so everyone knows, do I even need to explain this movie? But anyways, so the Grinch lives with his dog Max in like isolation or whatever. And the people in Whoville, they like love Christmas. They always celebrate it. And so this year they want to go bigger and better than ever. And so in order to rain on their parade, the Grinch wants to steal Christmas. He wants to steal Christmas. And there are like different versions of this movie. So there's the original animated one, there's a live action one, and then there's another animated one that came out like last year, I think. And all three of them are good, honestly. So you should watch all three. I dare you. To watch all three. Okay guys, so I had to make a quick run to cookout, and so I'm on the way home now. So I'm gonna finish the video there because I was in the car, but I had to go get food for the fam, you know, so yeah. Okay guys, so I'm back. So the Polar Express is basically about this train that takes kids to the North Pole. So yeah, basically it's about this boy who stopped believing in Santa Claus and him like going on this magical ride to the North Pole to like meet Santa Claus, and just him finding his way back to believing in Santa Claus. So the next movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. And so basically Jack Skellington, who is like the Pumpkin King or whatever, and like he gets bored of like scaring people and stuff, and he like ends up in Christmas Town or something like that, and he just basically wants to take over Christmas, and by like kidnapping Santa Claus, I believe. I actually haven't watched this movie in a really long time, so don't fight me on that if it's wrong, if like my explanation was like off. But yeah, I haven't watched this movie in a good minute, so I'm gonna have to like go back and watch that. So the next movie, well, it's kind of a movie, kind of a show, but it's based on the show Good Luck Charlie. So we all know the show Good Luck Charlie, and you know how like some shows have like hour-long like movies or whatever, and so that's what that is. Good Luck Charlie, it's Christmas, and it's about the whole Duncan family, and they're going on a vacation to Palm Springs, but Teddy wants to give up her seat to get like an extra ticket like anywhere in the world she chooses. And so Amy goes with her because she's like, you're still a child, you can't go by yourself. And so it's basically like them going on this whole road trip all the way to Palm Springs, and Teddy finds out some news on her mother. The next movie is A Cinderella Story, A Christmas Wish, and it's starring Laura Marano from Austin Alley, and basically it's essentially the story of Cinderella, and the stepfather remarries, but he was like friends with this like billionaire, and so yeah, Kat, it's her like the main character's name. She's like this singing elf at this like kind of like amusement park type setting, but it's like this Christmassy thing. So she also goes around singing telegrams and stuff, and so she ends up like liking the billionaire's son and all that stuff. So it's Cinderella, it's Cinderella, another version of Cinderella, but it's good though. So the next movie is Santa Paws. I honestly cannot remember anything from this movie, low-key, but I know it's a good movie. Like, you know, it's good, but you can't remember. I don't know, but yeah, it's a good movie. I just can't remember. I think like it's about magical puppies that can talk. I think they're like good in New York, I think, and I think they have to like save Christmas and save Santa. They also have to like convince like someone's grandson to continue working in like the family shop or something. I don't know. I can't remember, but all I know, it's a good movie. So the next movie is A Charlie Brown Christmas, and it's basically, actually, Charlie Brown movies are kind of like the same essentially, but I think in this one, Charlie Brown's kind of like, you know, a little bit down during the Christmas season, and I think Lucy like tries to get him to like do a play in the neighborhood, but I think like his efforts are like kind of like but they kind of like mock him in the process, but it all ends up good. But I don't know, I just feel like Charlie Brown movies are classic. It's hard to explain, you just have to like watch it. The next movie is Frosty the Snowman, and a bunch of school kids build this snowman and put this like magician's hat on him, and which makes him come to life. This is why I don't film outside, because birds, airplanes, and all that. But anyways, so the snowman that the kids built come to life, and he kind of goes in search for Santa Claus to take him to the North Pole so he won't melt, because you know it gets warmer. And yeah, so that's, everyone knows the tale of Frosty the Snowman, so I don't really need to explain too much, but yeah, it's a good movie. So the last movie is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and we all know the story of Rudolph. So Rudolph is basically like the underdog, and he's like the youngest out of all of Santa's reindeers, and he's like the oddball. But as we know, Rudolph ends up leading Santa's reindeers to take him to deliver presents to kids all over the world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Love yourself.